The 21 ways to wealth. The first way to wealth, clarity. Clarity is the topic. And that clarity of mind comes when you realize that Bitcoin is capital, perfected capital, programmable capital, incorruptible capital. The significance of that is every smart person, every thoughtful individual everywhere in the world is going to want perfected capital. Every one of your enemies is going to want incorruptible capital. And all of the AIs are going to want programmable capital. The demand for this is huge. What's it worth? It's worth half of everything. Half of everything.
All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something pretty big, Michael Saylor's 21-step plan for building wealth. And this isn't some high-level strategy for giant corporations. He specifically designed this blueprint for individuals, for people like you and me. Yeah, and Saylor is super clear about this right from the get-go. He literally says, this speech is for you. It's for the 8 billion people on the planet. So this is not some exclusive club for Wall Street insiders. He's saying this is a playbook for absolutely everyone. So, to make sense of all 21 points, we've broken them down into 5 key stages. Think of it as a journey. First, we'll cover the right mindset for wealth. Then we'll get into your modern blueprint for action. After that, we'll look at the corporate wealth engine for scaling up. Then, it's all about playing the long game. And finally, turning all that wealth into a legacy. Sound good? Let's get into it. So first up, the mindset. Before you do anything, I mean anything at all, Saylor says you have to get your head right. You need to build the right mental foundation because absolutely everything else is built on top of these next 3 pillars. It all kicks off with clarity. You have to understand what Bitcoin actually is. Saylor calls it perfected capital. So what does that even mean? Well, it's digital, it's borderless, it can't be messed with. You get the idea. Once you have that clarity, it naturally leads to conviction, this deep-seated belief that it's just, well, engineered to outperform every other asset out there over time. And when you have both of those, that's where courage comes in. The courage to actually do something with that knowledge and take what he calls intelligent monetary risk. And I love how he frames this idea of courage. He says Satoshi started this fire in cyberspace, right? The fearful, they run from it. The fools, they try to dance around it, maybe day trading it, getting too clever. But the faithful, the people who really believe in it, they feed the flame. And what does that mean in practical terms? It means you take your other assets, cash, bonds, whatever, and you convert them into Bitcoin. You're not just watching the fire, you're actively making it bigger. Okay, so once you've got the mindset down, you need a strategy for today. Not for the 1980s, but for right now. It's all about using the tools we have at our disposal in this digital age. And the number one tool he points to is, well, it's a genuine superpower, AI. Saylor's take is that AI is like having an army of accountants, lawyers, and professors at your beck and call 24/7. His advice is pretty radical. Before you ask a single human for help, go to the AI. Argue with it, challenge it, refine your ideas. He says you can get 95% of the way to a solution for free. This is a total game changer, giving you access to expertise that used to cost a fortune. So, AI is the first big lever in your blueprint, but there are 3 others. Next up is cooperation, basically getting your whole family aligned on this. You combine the capital of the older generation with the energy of the younger one. Then there's capability. We just talked about that. It's mastering AI. After that comes citizenship. This is a big one. It's about consciously choosing where you live, picking a city or country that actually respects your freedom and your property. And last but not least, civility. Just don't waste your time on fights you can't win. Save your energy for what's important. All right, so you've got your personal blueprint, but that's like having a really well-tuned car. To go from a car to a rocket ship, you need an engine. And for Saylor, that engine is a corporation. And this really shows you why. I mean, look at the difference. An individual is, well, limited, but a corporation, it's like a financial superhero. It gets access to the banking system in a way you can't. It can sell shares to raise crazy amounts of money. It gets legal protections. And, this is huge, it can live forever. In Saylor's words, it's pretty much the most powerful wealth creation tool ever. So, to really drive this home, Saylor tells this great little story about a dentist. Imagine a really successful dentist, right? Making good money, maybe a couple $100,000 a year. Now, they could just save and invest that money for 30 years and, yeah, they'd probably become a millionaire. And that's great. But it's slow, it's linear, it's just treating your time for money year after year. But here's the smart move. The dentist incorporates the practice. It's not just a job anymore, it's a corporate asset. Now they can sell a chunk of that company to raise a big pile of cash today. Then they go to a bank and as a corporation borrow money cheap, let's say it's 6%. They take all that cash and put it into an asset they think will grow at, say, 20% a year. You see that gap? That spread between 6% and 20%. That's pure profit and it's compounding. You've literally pulled 30 years of future wealth into the present. That's the engine. So, building the engine is a huge step, but keeping it running for decades, that's a whole other ballgame. Saylor's really clear that this requires a whole new set of principles. This is all about endurance. And he makes this pretty bold claim, right? He says that over 30 years, pretty much every operational idea, a new product, a new service, is almost guaranteed to fail. There's just too much competition, too much change. But, he says, a simple financial idea built on a solid foundation like Bitcoin, that has a 99% chance of succeeding. The big takeaway here is to know the difference between a fragile business idea and a robust financial strategy. So how do you endure? It boils down to 4 things. Number 1, focus, like laser focus. Don't let your own shiny new ideas pull you off course. Number 2, commitment. You got to stick with it, even when everyone is telling you to sell. Number 3, delivery. It's not enough to have a plan, you have to execute it flawlessly. And finally, number 4, adaptation. You have to be willing to cut things loose. Partners, strategies, if they're not working anymore. Okay, and after all that, after building the engine and playing the long game, you get to the final stage. The mission changes. It's not just about stacking up wealth anymore. It's about what you do with it. It's about creating a legacy. And this part is really about 3 things. First, communication. You have to be open and honest to build real trust. Second, advocacy. You need to become a voice for these ideas, helping other people get started on their own path. And maybe the most important one, generosity, spreading the security and hope you've found. Saylor argues this isn't just about being a good person. It actually creates a positive feedback loop that protects everyone involved. So after this whole massive blueprint, we're talking AI, corporate finance, global strategy, the whole shebang. Saylor does something amazing. He brings this entire grand vision right back down to earth, back to where it all started.
And after who knows how many millions of pages of wisdom have been delivered to the world, I'm able to give you this speech. But someone much greater than me, Satoshi, with none of that information, with none of that proof, with none of that time, said this many, many years ago, the most important 12 words in the English language. It might make sense to get some in case it catches on.
He closes with just 12 simple words from Satoshi Nakamoto. It's just such a powerful way to end. It's a reminder that this entire massive, multi-trillion-dollar world we've been talking about, it all started with one simple, quiet thought. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other simple ideas today could become the revolutions of tomorrow?